The objective of the project is to provide a continuous pathway in and out of the Marina Bay neighborhood that avoids the blockages caused by train crossings. So over the years we were able to assemble the funding. It's approximately a $40 million project to build this. So what's going on now is we started the project officially in July of 2013. The roadway was closed for construction in early September of 2013 with an initial projected completion, reopening of the road 18 months later in March or April of 2015. We did encounter some delays with utilities, relocations that were outside of our control, but we are now projecting that we'll be open in May of 2015, so at the 20-month, which is on the outside of our projections, so we still remain on schedule. So from the outset, this very early planning was required in order to build this bridge with an active railroad underneath it. We started early on in the design phase coordinating with the railroads involved. There are 3 railroads involved at this crossing. The facility itself is owned by Union Pacific Railroad. It's leased to the Richmond Pacific Railroad, which in turn has track sharing rights with the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad. So all 3 of these railroads had to be involved. We were able to negotiate with them for closure windows where they would let us come in and remove the trackways, but those work windows couldn't be more than effectively 1 weekend long. We were able to get up to 6 of those, and they could not be consecutive. As it turned out, this contractor, through careful planning and because of their experience, they were able to complete this bridge in 4 weekends, with the last weekend being the actual placement of the steel bridge, which happened in 44 hours. As you can see, the work that's going on now involves putting waterproofing materials on these retaining walls, which were installed below grade using a deep soil mix rig. It's a drill rig that injects slurry into the earth. These walls go down approximately 60 feet, and then steel beams are inserted into the wet slurry and then dried. When those were cured, we excavated the roadway to the depth you see here, which is approximately where the roadway will be in its finished condition. So right now, the waterproofing is going on the deep soil mix walls, and a retaining wall will be built on the outside of those. Subsequent to that, an additional retaining wall will be built to hold the sidewalks. There will be 10-foot sidewalks on each side of this roadway to provide both bike and pedestrian travel underneath the bridge. And then after that, we build the road. And so things are tracking, again, for May reopening 2015. And by all accounts, things are going really well. By December of this year, so the end of this year, we'll be building this roadway, and we'll be essentially putting the finishing touches and finishes in all of the structural work will be essentially done at that point. So things like decorative railings along the sidewalks, the street lights, and the actual road surface itself, we expect to be in the middle of that process in December. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to the community, because this project could not have happened without the broad support by the Marina Bay community. There were times when, early on, before we started construction, where we didn't know for certain whether we could actually move forward with this project because of various factors. And it was largely because of the community's support and the way they vocalized that to all of the decision makers that allowed this to happen. And so all of the community deserves a big thank you for getting this project together.